quick pause because we've got an incredible guest joining us live on the line. Not only is he a very dear friend, but he's a political strategist and who's advised Presidents Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan and Donald J. Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Roger Stone. Roger, my friend, how are you?
Mark, I'm delighted to be back with you, the number one Hungarian-American talk show radio host in America today.
Roger, well, God bless you, my friend. It's always great to welcome you here on Mark My Words. Roger, there's probably very few people on the planet right now that can talk about what Alvin Bragg is doing to President Trump and weaponizing his office to go after a political enemy. It's you and Governor Rod Blagojevich who've been out on the airways. But Roger, I just wanted to get your thoughts. This is a sad time for our country right now.
It's absolutely clear here that Alvin Bragg has no case. That he is trying to manufacture a prosecution of Donald Trump built around the testimony of one completely unreliable witness who's already completely contradicted his current claims under oath in two previous proceedings, as well as having his lawyers do so in writing to the Federal Election Commission and also in conversations with his own attorney, because one of his attorneys, Robert Costello, was relieved from the privilege. The privilege was waived, and Michael Cohen, who is Alvin Bragg's chief witness, former lawyer for Donald Trump, has changed his story multiple times. It's a very sad day because the desperation here of the Biden regime, of which Mr. Bragg is simply a small appendage, is palpable and obvious. This is not the federal investigation into January 6th. This is not the federal investigation into whether Donald Trump mishandled classified documents. This is a business records dispute, which Alvin Bragg is trying to spin into a campaign finance dispute, which he's trying to argue is a felony. It's ludicrous. It's politically motivated. It's exactly the kind of crap they did to my friend Rod Blagojevich. It's the same thing they tried to do to me. And here's the surprising thing, Mark. Everybody would have told Trump, lay low. His lawyers have said, lay low, say nothing, do nothing. Trump's being proactive, being out front and aggressive, calling it out exactly as it is, a politically motivated witch hunt, seems to have had a very positive effect on both the public's attitude towards Trump. And I think Alvin Bragg may be thinking twice about whether he wants to risk taking this case to a jury where the evidence is really not very compelling.
Roger, I know you speak to President Trump often, and I'm sure he's upbeat in your phone calls, but he looked good and he sounded great at his rally there in Waco last night. I mean, I haven't seen him more this energized in a long time.
That's quite strange because various reporters from numerous publications, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post, who I speak to, really want to paint this narrative that the president is frantic, that he's hysterical, that he's melting down, that he's nervous, that he's angry, that he's upset. That's not the Donald Trump I've been talking to. I've talked to him fairly often in recent days, and he seems to be in a great mood, upbeat, optimistic, sure, a little pugilistic, but that's his style. He's got a combative style. And it has kind of worked in two ways. One, I think many people are looking at this prosecution in New York now through a different lens. But secondarily, Governor Ron DeSantis, who so far appears to be his only real rival for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, after having extraordinary discipline and ignoring Trump's taunts, has now stepped in it. First of all, DeSantis doesn't seem to understand that his base is a microcosm of Trump's base. It's just smaller, less intense, and less loyal. And secondarily, when Trump was under attack was not the time for DeSantis to go public and basically join the crowd kicking him when he's down. An enormous miscalculation by Governor Ron DeSantis. First of all, he says, I'm not getting involved in this process. And then he recycles the discredited, debunked claims against Trump regarding hush money to a porn star, which everybody involved, except for Michael Cohen, now denies. Then, Mark, he goes on with Piers Morgan, And he doubles down by questioning Trump's moral character. Really, Ron DeSantis wasn't questioning Trump's moral character when Trump single-handedly catapulted him into the governor's seat. Ron DeSantis was at 7% before Donald Trump endorsed him. He was at 42% and victory after the endorsement. And then in the final 2 weeks of the 2018 campaign, Trump had to change his schedule to come to Florida to drag Ron over the finish line because Ron is such a poor, non-compelling candidate. So you would think there would be some gratitude, but I guess as they know in Chicago, if you're looking for loyalty, get a dog.
That's right. Roger, real quick, we're running up, but and I've got school board candidates here, and I wanted to say what your message is to these schools. They're under vicious attacks by Governor Pritzker and the Democrats. But Roger, how many investigations does the Democrats have you are active right now for you?
Fortunately, none that I'm aware of, because as you know, any claim that I knew in advance about was involved in or condoned anything that happened on January 6th is entirely false. They do try to use guilt by association. Oh, you've met Mark Vargas, therefore you must be a Mexican. No, it doesn't really work that way.
No, it does not. And that's why, Roger, I want to encourage everyone to go to stonedefensefund.com because you are constantly under attack by the left. But very quickly, Roger.
What I do have is 11 groundless, baseless, unsubstantiated civil suits against me. These are harassment suits in which they try to drive up their legal fees and drag your name through the mud. But there were 117. Today there's 11. I prevailed in 6. People go to stonedefensefund.com, stonedefensefund.com. I will ultimately prevail in all of them, Mark.
Yes, you will. And Roger, real quick, what's your message to the 4 school board candidates sitting in this studio right now listening to you who are under vicious attacks by Governor Pritzker and the left in about 30 or 40 seconds?
Stand up for the students. Stand up for the parents. Governor Pritzker, this guy has his own zip code. He's so big. It's unbelievable.
Roger Stone, I love you, my friend. God bless you.
Great to be with you, Mark, and good luck to all the school board candidates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Roger Stone. Stand up for the kids, stand up for the parents. 11 lawsuits, 11 baseless lawsuits. Why? Because he's friends with Donald Trump. And I know that all of you could have experienced this at the local level because you are a school board candidate. But we're going to continue our conversation